Nobody wins when the family feels.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup.
Fam, as a news platform and bringing you guys information at least once, sometimes even 3 times every 24 hours, I try my best to bring you the most relevant story I believe to you guys' attention within that time frame. And sometimes that could be tough, especially when the main objective is to shine light on a situation that normally wouldn't get the most shine, or to try to do more research that's not necessarily presented to the public. Well, one of those stories has been brewing for the last 72 hours that I felt the need to bring you guys an update on. And this is a real sensitive matter. Some would say in the last 72 hours we are witnessing extortion, or some would say in the last 72 hours we're witnessing a victim who decided to handle things in the court of the law has been victim shamed by the alleged perpetrator. And it's important to note that I'm not here to try to tell you which way to go. I'm just here to present the facts and tell you where we stand today. And just to put it all on the table at the very beginning, because people are going to assume what they want. Fam, today we talk about a 20-year-old OnlyFans model who's now suing an NFL Hall of Famer who was days away from signing a $100 million media contract. Is now getting sued for $50 million by the alleged victim, putting everything that he worked so hard for, now in his late 50s, post-career, at risk. Now, since this news has broke out in the last 72 hours, dating back to Sunday, we got clips from Shannon Sharpe and his legal team responding to phone calls being leaked, at least snippets. Not to mention, he identified the alleged victim. On top of that, his co-worker at ESPN have responded to these allegations. And on top of that, the true motive and the history of the plaintiff's lawyer has also been brought up as well. Today, I give you everything in chronological order and where we stand today and get you guys' thoughts on what's to take place in the near future. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. Now, I'm going to say the obvious because before we go over the facts, it's imperative that we all know this. In certain situations, no matter the outcome, we gotta accept what come with it, meaning we supposed to think twice. Now, you talking about a guy who's living like that, in that age bracket, messing with a 20-year-old, you gotta assume what's gonna come with it. And some would say it's not even her who was suing him, right? At 20 years old, if we was messing with a multi-millionaire 3 decades older than us, we probably would just enjoy the time, right? But in her case, she had a motive out the gate. Some believe that would be probably the person she actually listens to. Some consider a PIMP or probably just her boyfriend. But I did my own research. Looked at her social media. Now, Shannon Sharpe already mentioned that she was an OnlyFans model. She's 20 years old, but you could tell that she manipulates online presence by even having birthday cakes with 22 as the candle. But it get deeper than that. You look at pages that she was tagged in throughout the years. You could tell there's some type of escort service going on. Now, does Shannon Sharpe know that? Who knows? But at the end of the day, when we talking about a man who have so much at risk and still have a conversation with a 20-year-old woman upset that she won't go out in public with him is crazy. It makes you wonder, what was Shannon Sharpe thinking? Now, of course, like we mentioned, we're about to go over the facts. But at least we can all admit and say, hey man, no matter what happened, certain things you should know better from doing. Fam, meet the internet's favorite uncle, Shannon Sharpe. Born June 26, 1968, growing up in a family passionate about sports, he was inspired from a young age to pursue athletics. His older brother Sterling Sharpe was also a talented football player, which further fueled Shannon's ambition to succeed in the sport. Shannon had attended Glenville High School in Georgia, where he distinguished himself as a standout athlete in football and basketball. His exceptional performance earned him a scholarship to the University of Savannah State, now Savannah State University, where he played college football. Despite facing some challenges early on, Shannon's talent and work ethic helped him develop into a top 5 tight end in the NFL. Post-career, Shannon Sharpe has made his name as one of the faces for sports talk media. Once a co-host on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, now a co-host on First Take with Stephen A. Smith.
No matter, divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Bigger than 5. The Thunder, a Boost Mobile bundle, WWE Royal Rumble. Bigger than 5. OKC, KFC, UFC. Bigger than 5. Houston Rockets. I don't care nothing about no light socket, a court docket, or my empty pockets. You can say SGA, PGA, USA. Bigger than 5. Phoenix Sun, Capri Sun, Mohegan Sun, the sun about to set. It Lakers than 5. CP3, C3PO, it doesn't matter. Star Wars and Luke Skywalker.
That's who he is.
Lakers than 5. It doesn't matter. Chris Paul, Cliff Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Lakers than 5. You can have Harden, you can have a pardon, you can get a garden. Lakers than 5. Serge Ibaka, Chewbacca, Waka Flocka. Lakers than 5. White side, backside, sunny side. Lakers than 5.
Shannon Sharpe has been doing well on the airways. He even known for his podcast Club Shay Shay, with an interview with Cat Williams with over 89 million views and counting. Not to mention, he had a guest with Monique who gave him some advice on what he needed to do for his love life. Check it out.
I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
You tried to say what you tried to say.
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, no.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me live my life.
Let me tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Damn. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks? Yeah, because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs.
Now that interview is not even a year old, but it's something about Shannon Sharpe's legendary comedian guests somehow speak truths, as if they know something before we do, like Cat Williams and now and even Monique. Now, everything is in jeopardy. On Easter, 420, in 2025, a lawsuit will come down from a Houston-based lawyer named Tony Buzbee, known for representing victims of SA. Now, it's important to note that he represented a number of victims, like Deshaun Watkins, at the time the QB for the Browns, who was accused of SA with different masseuses, over 20, and 23 of them reached settlements. Now, he recently became popular in 2021 after making a hotline for victims against P. Diddy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Buzbee. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York, and I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all.
Now, Tony Buzbee has been called out for having accusers for lying as well, going against people like Jay-Z, with Jay-Z countersued for defamation. He also had accusers who withdrew their lawsuit against P. Diddy as well. Now, speaking of the PIMP, we'll later get to that. But it's also noted that this young woman is from Las Vegas, Nevada. And on Easter this past Sunday, Las Vegas District Court, by attorney Tony Buzbee, seeks damages for pain and suffering, suing Shannon Sharpe for $50 million, alleging he and threatened her during a 2-year relationship. But Tony Buzbee now claiming that his client is suffering psychological and emotional distress, mental anguish, embarrassment, and humiliation. The woman identified in the complaint as Jane Doe alleges Shannon Sharpe, 56 years old, first approached her while she was working out at a Los Angeles gym in January of 2023. She didn't know who Sharpe was at the time, but the lawsuit said the pair began a consensual but deeply manipulative relationship. Now, before we continue, she's 20, and the suit alleging that the relationship lasted for 2 years, meaning she was 18 years old allegedly when these allegations had started. Over the next 2 years, the suit said Sharpe became increasingly controlling and physically abusive, choking and hitting Doe on multiple occasions. Sharpe allegedly threatened to kill Doe numerous times for resisting his sexual advances and accusing him of infidelity. According to the lawsuit, Sharpe R. Doe twice in October of 2024 and again in January of 2025. It also accused Sharpe of repeatedly recording the two having sex without Doe's knowledge or consent. Now, Buzbee released a brief audio clip to several media outlets Tuesday in which Sharpe allegedly said he'll choke Doe if she accused him of manipulating her. In a conference call later that day, Sharpe's attorney, Lanny Davis, said the audio was edited and wrapped in distorted way.
I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Now, it's important that Shannon Sharpe has not confirmed this, but Davis says Sharpe offered Doe at least $10 million to settle the case before she filed the lawsuit, but she declined. Shannon Sharpe had came out the day the first clip was released and said this.
Supporters and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Buzbee, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Buzbee targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I wouldn't myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Buzbee want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
I don't know how that worked, releasing her name, but they did release a recorded audio that he wasn't aware of as well. So then the next day, Buzbee released another clip. Check it out.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what? Well, what, Gabby?
Now, it was looking bad for Shannon Sharpe, but he started to make sense of allegedly while he was saying choke. Allegedly, that's how they communicated. He releases some alleged text messages between the two, where she quoted, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me while you're F me." Quote, "I know you miss this big juicy 25K each cheek." Quote, "You better crave it, because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me." End quote. And we're just shocked that Shannon Sharpe put herself in this situation. Now, people had mixed feelings about everything thus far. But then people started to wonder, what about his job? Of course, ESPN is owned by Disney. Will they still keep him? Now, we all know we can't hear from the owner. And the next best thing was Stephen A., his co-host for 2 days on First Take. And check out what he had to say after speaking to the boss.
With that being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say. I know the reports, the things that have been reported on a multitude of outlets, from the AP to the New York Post to Forbes to TMZ and everything in between. I mean, I can't even count the number of publications that have talked about it or written about it, networks, etc. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And I know that. I'm fully aware of that. This is not a criminal case. So it's not, there is no concern about him going to jail. This is a civil case, which means that he can either be found liable or not liable. The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today. According to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time. According to some audio that was put out earlier today by attorney Buzbee, you hear the accuser, the female, talking to somebody who is alleged to be Shannon Sharpe. We don't know whether that's true or not. And the person in question, again, we don't know whether it's Shannon or not, the words choke, as in I will choke the hell out of you if I saw you. And so because of that, knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time, Shannon Sharpe felt compelled to come out in his own defense. How we interpret that? Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from. I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. On one hand, Tony Buzbee has sued Jay-Z. He did sue Diddy. He did accuse them, or represented the woman who was accusing them of assault, of sexual assault, and said that she was 13 years of age at the time when talking about Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z went ballistic and emphatically denied it, wouldn't let it go. The case was dropped, and now he's suing Buzbee, mentioning words like extortion and other things. So when Shannon Sharpe brought up Mr. Buzbee in that video that we aired and talked about him being extorted, he brought up Mr. Buzbee and Mr. Buzbee's past. And he talked about him, going against African-American men. There's two thoughts there. On one hand, there's the Jay-Z, who obviously should be presumed innocent, not just because you should be presumed innocent until found guilty, but because of the manner in which he fought on his own behalf and has been very aggressive in going after Tony Buzbee. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe. Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit. But in Diddy, you don't know what to believe because of all the allegations he's facing. But we can't forget that Tony Buzbee was also the person that represented at least 24 of the 27 women that accused Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct along with other allegations. And at least 23 of those cases were settled. So we have an obligation to mention that. So on one hand, going on the offensive to defend himself, I completely understand where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. On the other hand, when his legal team issued out the press release on X yesterday, and they spoke about They mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages. That was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. One of the hardest things in the world for all of us to do is to just lay low and be quiet. And let our legal team do it. And we don't always know whether or not that's the right thing to do. I know, and I can tell you all, that I spoke to Shannon. Not in details, but I spoke to him. And he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Buzbee, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us? I'd love to tell you that I know the answer to that question, but I don't. I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN. I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously. And we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said. And I can mention his name because I received his permission to say that. I don't know what that means. In my perfect world, this equates to Jay-Z, where the case ultimately dropped and Shannon is allowed to continue on First Take and continue to thrive and shine. And not just that, and have an illustrious career in the podcast stratosphere, doing Nightcap with Chad Ochocinco, doing Club Shay Shay, and ultimately gets this $100 million deal that he was all over the news about to sign just a couple of days before this report came out. In my perfect world, he moves on. And somehow, some way, we find this all to be false. But it doesn't seem like that's the way things are about to go down, considering who Mr. Buzbee is and how emphatic his client is proclaiming that she is right and she's telling the truth. I don't know where this is going to go. I can't speak to anything else. I don't know who Shannon Sharpe's legal team is and what they're suggesting. I imagine that everything that has transpired has been at the behest of his lawyers, not just himself. I can tell you again that when I spoke to him, he is emphatic in stating his innocence, that this is a shakedown, to use his words. How wise is it to use those kind of words when a civil matter of this nature is out there? When you have a podcast and you have advertisers and sponsors and you work for ESPN and they have advertising sponsors, I don't know. What can we say if any of us were in that position and we felt or were proclaiming we were innocent? I don't know. And I'm not about to pretend. I just wanted to make sure that I echo to all of you that the only reason I spoke on this issue is because he works with me 2 days a week. He's on national television. He was on national television with me today. He was on national television with me yesterday when the story came out Sunday night. I didn't know anything about it until we got on the air. But he was on air. And if you know him in part because of all the work that he's doing with me and what he's doing in this industry, I know everybody's been waiting, like, Stephen A., what you got to say about this? I got to say what I just told you. I don't know what's happened. I know I got love for the brother. I know that I'm wishing that he's innocent and all of this stuff goes away and he can continue to thrive with me on ESPN and thrive in his own platforms that he worked so diligently over the years to build. But anything else would be entirely irresponsible for me to speak on. And I can't do that. Yes, I own this. This is my platform. But I also have a day job and I also understand what lawyers, what HR, and all of those other things entail. What I said is all I can say. And in all honesty, at this moment, it is all I know. I have no idea what direction ESPN and Walt Disney will go in when it comes to this matter. All I do know is it won't be me making a decision. It'll be others upstairs. In the end, all of us have someone to answer to. No matter how maverick we try to be and we own our own business and we're our sole proprietors like I am on this platform and stuff like that. There are advertisers, there are sponsors, there are people you do business with, there are partners, and there are bosses. That's the situation, unfortunately, that Shannon Sharpe finds himself in at this particular moment in time. I sincerely wish him the best. I got love for him. And I hope all of this is just a sad ordeal that goes away because there was no truth to it. But I don't know. Neither do you or the rest of us. And only time will tell what the truth is. That's it for this edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Special edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Just want to let you know that. I'll holler at y'all later.
Now, for those who want to check out our Instagram, because I can't show you the pictures due to YouTube guidelines, I can only show you a handful. She is Carly, with the K, promoting her OnlyFans and having content while in the gym. I don't know, fam. I know it's going to be an update to this one, but as of now, this where we at. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. This was the story of an OnlyFans model who on Easter sued an NFL Hall of Famer for $50 million after alleging he ough'd her 3 times. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And till then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.